Awaken your spirit, chosen ones. The loudest enemy is often the most powerless. In a world where people fight to be heard, the chosen ones move in silence, disrupting the chaos without uttering a word. It's not through noise, but through an unseen power that you silence every enemy. Forever. The fact is, most battles are not won by strength, but by strategy. And the greatest strategy is to become untouchable, unreachable, and unshakable. Today, you're going to discover how to unleash a force so profound that your enemies will fall away, not because you fought them, but because you transcended them. Get ready, because once you tap into this power, no force on earth can challenge you. Number 1. Power is never loud, it's calculated. True power doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't have to be loud or forceful. When you move in silence and with intention, that's when you're truly dangerous. People who constantly feel the need to show off their strength or dominate every situation are usually the ones who lack real control. They're trying to compensate for their own insecurities. But when you're truly powerful, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You know your worth, and that quiet confidence speaks louder than words. Every move you make is calculated. You don't waste energy on unnecessary battles or conflicts. Instead, you're strategic, choosing only the fights that matter and walking away from the ones that don't. This throws people off because they can't predict what you'll do next. They expect you to react emotionally, to get caught up in the noise, but instead you stay calm and collected. While they're busy making noise, you're already 10 steps ahead, making moves they don't even see coming. This type of power frustrates your enemies because they can't figure you out. They want to know what you're thinking, how you're going to respond, but you don't give them that satisfaction. Your silence forces them to overthink and second-guess themselves while you stay focused on your goal. They end up stumbling over their own actions, making mistakes because they're too busy trying to get a reaction out of you. In the end, it's your patience and precision that sets you apart. You're not looking for attention or approval. You're playing the long game, and that's why you always come out on top. Your power doesn't need to be loud because it's already felt by everyone around you. And that quiet, controlled strength is far more intimidating than anything else. Number 2, your existence alone is a threat. Your presence alone can be enough to shake people. As a chosen one, you don't have to do anything extraordinary to trigger fear or insecurity in others. Just being yourself is a threat to those who can't handle your energy. People can sense something different about you, and it makes them uncomfortable because they don't understand it. It's not something they can put their finger on, but deep down, they feel it. They know you aren't like them. You don't fit into the boxes they've created, and that alone makes them uneasy. What really gets to them is that your strength comes from within, not from anything external. You don't need approval, validation, or permission from anyone to exist as you are. And that level of self-assurance scares people who rely on outside opinions to feel secure. Your confidence exposes their insecurity. Your calmness highlights their chaos. Your purpose makes them question their own. This is why some people seem to come after you without reason. They aren't really attacking you. They're fighting their own inner battles, and you've just become the mirror they don't want to face. The truth is, you are a constant reminder to your enemies of what they lack. Your authenticity and unshakable sense of self make them painfully aware of their own pretenses and weaknesses. They hate that they can't affect you, that no matter what they do or say, you stay grounded. It makes them feel powerless because they can't control or manipulate someone who doesn't need their approval. This is why your presence alone can silence enemies without you ever having to say a word. They crumble under the weight of their own insecurities, and all you've done is continue being who you are. Number 3, enemies expose themselves without your effort. One of the most remarkable things about being a chosen one is that your enemies reveal themselves without you needing to lift a finger. You don't have to expose them, confront them, or even engage. By simply staying focused on your path, those who secretly oppose you eventually show their true colors. They can't help it. The pressure of trying to bring you down or undermine you will cause them to act out in ways that make their intentions clear to everyone. When people feel threatened by your energy, success, or presence, they will go to great lengths to disrupt your peace. But here's the truth. The more you rise, the more desperate they become. And in that desperation, they expose themselves. They start slipping up, showing signs of jealousy, bitterness, or resentment. They may gossip, try to sabotage your work, or even attempt to turn others against you. But in doing so, they make it obvious to everyone, including themselves, that they've been watching you too closely for all the wrong reasons. The irony is that the more they try to harm you, the more they harm themselves. Their obsession with seeing you fail backfires, and instead of damaging your reputation, they end up tarnishing their own. People start noticing the pettiness, the bitterness, and the envy in their actions. You don't even have to call them out because they will do it for you through their own behavior. This is why you don't need to get caught up in their games. Stay focused on your journey, keep leveling up, and let your enemies dig their own holes. Their need to tear you down will ultimately become their downfall, and all you have to do is keep moving forward, untouched. Number 4. Mastering emotional detachment is the ultimate weapon. Emotional detachment is one of the most powerful tools you can have as a chosen one. It's not about being cold or heartless. It's about knowing when to walk away from situations and people who no longer serve your growth. When you master the ability to detach emotionally, you're showing that no one has control over your reactions. You're not giving anyone the power to pull you into their drama or manipulate you through emotions. People often try to provoke or guilt you into staying in situations that aren't good for you. They rely on your emotional investment to keep you tied down, whether it's in relationships, friendships, or even in professional settings. But when you can step back, look at the situation objectively and make decisions based on your own needs, not someone else's expectations, you take back control. You're no longer at the mercy of other people's opinions or manipulation tactics. This detachment is unsettling to those who want to keep you bound to them. They expect a reaction, a plea, or some sign that you care about their opinion. But when they don't get that, it leaves them confused and powerless. They can no longer control the narrative because you've shown that your peace of mind matters more than their approval. It's not about shutting yourself off from emotions entirely. It's about recognizing when a situation is draining you emotionally and having the strength to step away. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It shows that you value yourself enough to leave behind anything that doesn't align with your purpose. When you master this, you silence any enemy trying to manipulate you, because they quickly learn that nothing they do can affect your inner peace. Number 5. Your light triggers their deepest insecurities. When you're a chosen one, your very existence triggers something deep inside people. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, far from it. The issue lies in how your presence makes others feel about themselves. Your energy shines a light on the parts of them they don't want to face. Their insecurities, doubts, and hidden fears. They look at you and see what they wish they could be, and that makes them uncomfortable. It's like you're holding up a mirror they can't avoid, and what they see in that reflection is everything they don't want to admit about themselves. This is why some people act out around you for no apparent reason. They'll criticize you, try to downplay your achievements, or even lash out when you've done nothing to provoke them. It's not really you they're angry at. They're frustrated with themselves. You remind them of their untapped potential, their unfulfilled dreams, or the confidence they lack. Your light exposes their shadows, and instead of dealing with their issues, they project that negativity onto you. What's really happening is that you're awakening something in them. They can't ignore your presence because it forces them to confront who they are versus who they want to be. For some, this can be a positive push towards self-improvement, but for others, it feels like an attack on their identity, and that's why they react so negatively. The truth is, your light is not the problem. Their unwillingness to face their own darkness is. In the end, this dynamic only confirms your power. You don't have to dim your light to make others comfortable. Your very existence is a catalyst for change, whether people like it or not. And that, more than anything, is why you trigger so many. Number 6. Enemies are temporary. Your purpose is eternal. Your enemies are temporary, but your purpose is eternal. When you're focused on your destiny, the people trying to bring you down are just fleeting distractions. They may seem loud and present right now, but in the grand scheme of things, they're insignificant. The truth is, they come and go. But your mission is far bigger than any of them. Your purpose stretches far beyond the momentary battles they're trying to pull you into. That's why you can't let them derail you. Enemies feed off the attention you give them. The more you focus on what they're doing or saying, the more they gain power over you. But once you shift your attention back to your purpose, they become irrelevant. They're fighting for your energy, but when you don't give it to them, they lose their grip. Instead of wasting time on every attack or criticism, you keep moving forward, knowing that your path is much bigger than whatever they're trying to throw at you. Your purpose is something they can't touch. It's untouchable because it's part of who you are. No matter how much they try to disrupt you, your purpose remains steady because it's not built on external approval or circumstances. It's built on something much deeper, something they don't have access to. That's why, in the end, they fade away. They can't keep up with someone who's driven by something eternal. While your enemies are stuck in their temporary mindset, focused on the short-term wins, you're playing the long game. You're not here for small victories. You're here to fulfill something much greater. And that's why, over time, they fall away, but you continue to rise. You're moving in a realm they can't touch. And that makes all the difference. Number 7. The power in silence is deadlier than words. Silence is one of the most underestimated forms of power. People think they need to shout the loudest to prove themselves or win battles, but that's where they go wrong. Silence, when used wisely, speaks louder than any argument or confrontation ever could. It's a kind of control that leaves others puzzled and unnerved because they can't predict your next move. When you stop reacting to those who try to provoke you, they lose the satisfaction they crave. Enemies feed off attention, off the need to explain yourself, defend yourself, or retaliate. When you deny them that, you rob them of their power. Silence forces them to sit with their own insecurities, amplifies their doubt, and makes them question their own moves. While they scramble to make sense of your quiet strength, you're in control, watching them unravel without lifting a finger. People often mistake quiet for weakness, but in reality, it's a tactic. It's about not allowing anyone to pull you into their chaos or make you dance to their tune. The more silent you are, the more they'll stumble, overthinking every little detail, trying to decipher what's going on in your mind. In that silence, you hold all the power because you're not showing your cards. You're not playing their game. You're forcing them to play against themselves. Silence cuts through noise, and in a world filled with people desperate for attention, your refusal to engage is the ultimate weapon. It shows them that they can't control you, manipulate you, or move you, no matter how hard they try. That kind of power lasts longer than any argument ever could. It's a permanent silence, one that echoes louder than words. Number 8. Enemies fear what they can't control. Enemies fear what they cannot control. This fundamental truth is at the heart of why you silence your adversaries without engaging in confrontation. They thrive on dominance and manipulation, attempting to pull you into their games to assert their power. When they realize that you can't be controlled, it shakes them to their core. You become an enigma they can't decode, and that uncertainty is their greatest fear. When you operate from a place of authenticity and self-awareness, you create a presence that disrupts their strategies. They try to provoke you, to draw you into their chaos, believing that by getting a reaction, they can regain control. But the moment you refuse to play their game, their power dissipates. You show them that their tactics are ineffective, rendering their attempts to undermine you pointless. This realization leaves them feeling exposed and vulnerable. You don't need to confront them directly. Your very existence serves as a reminder that you are unyielding. Your emotional detachment and refusal to engage in their drama strip them of their ammunition. They want to see you react, to rise to their bait, but when you don't, they are left fumbling in the dark. The longer you stand firm in your power, the more they lose their grip on their own emotions and the situation at hand. As they scramble to find a way to regain their sense of control, they reveal their weaknesses. Their jealousy and insecurities bubble to the surface, exposing them for who they really are. In this way, you don't just silence them, you dismantle their facade. The power of your calmness becomes their downfall, leaving them unable to regain their footing. Ultimately, when you refuse to let anyone dominate your narrative, you force them to confront their own failures, making their crumbling egos your quiet victory. Number 9. Unleashing power means unchaining yourself. Unleashing your power means unchaining yourself from all the limitations that have been placed upon you. The moment you decide to step into your true self, every chain that has held you back begins to fall away. These chains come in many forms: fears instilled by others, doubts sown by past experiences, and manipulations designed to keep you small and compliant. But once you recognize your inherent worth and potential, those chains disintegrate like dust in the wind. True power emerges when you embrace the freedom to live authentically, without fear of judgment or consequence. For too long, many people have been conditioned to conform to societal expectations, to dim their light in order to fit in. They let the voices of others dictate their choices, leading to a life filled with frustration and resentment. But the moment you unleash your power, you reclaim the right to define your own path. You stop seeking approval and start living according to your own values and desires. This shift can be transformative. When you let go of the fears that have been projected onto you, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, you become unstoppable. You move through life with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken by external opinions. The opinions of others lose their weight, and you begin to see that those who try to manipulate or control you are simply reflecting their own insecurities. As you unleash your power, you create a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. You become a beacon of possibility, showing that it's not only okay to be authentic, but that it's essential for true fulfillment. The moment you break free from those chains, you unlock a strength within you that was always there, waiting for the right moment to emerge. And that strength is what will carry you through any obstacle, proving that the real source of power lies in your freedom to be unapologetically you. Number 10. You're a mirror they can't avoid. One of the most unsettling realities for your enemies is that, by simply being yourself, you act as a mirror reflecting their true selves back at them. You don't have to do anything spectacular or call them out on their behavior. Your very presence challenges them to confront who they are beneath the surface. This is a confrontation they cannot handle. When you live authentically, with confidence and self-awareness, you inadvertently shine a light on the insecurities and darkness lurking within them. They may project their issues onto you, trying to deflect attention away from their own shortcomings, but the truth is, they see themselves through you. You embody qualities they wish they had, and that realization is often too painful to bear. While they want to believe they are strong or superior, your authenticity reveals the cracks in their armor. As they watch you live in your truth, it stirs something deep within them, a mix of admiration and envy. They feel threatened by your light, not because of anything you've done, but simply because you remind them of everything they wish they could be. This dynamic forces them to confront the parts of themselves they have long ignored. They may lash out in anger or try to discredit you, but it's all a defense mechanism. The truth is, your very existence exposes their vulnerabilities, and they can't stand it. This mirror effect can be incredibly powerful. It's not your job to engage with them or to manage their feelings. Your role is to continue shining bright, unapologetically. As you do, they'll either be inspired to rise to their own potential or become even more hostile, unable to face the truth of who they are. Ultimately, it's their choice to confront their shadows or remain stuck in their insecurities. You are merely reflecting back what they refuse to acknowledge, and that alone is a form of power they cannot ignore. Number 11. The more they try to break you, the more unbreakable you become. There's a powerful paradox in being a chosen one. The more your enemies try to break you, the more unbreakable you become. Each attack they launch is not a blow to your spirit, but rather fuel for your resilience. When they attempt to undermine you, they only succeed in strengthening your resolve. Every insult, every attempt to sabotage your progress adds another layer of toughness to your character, molding you into a version of yourself that they can't comprehend, let alone defeat. You see, when others target you, they often underestimate the depth of your inner strength. They believe that their negativity or aggression will shake you, but in reality, it ignites a fire within. You tap into an energy that propels you forward, transforming adversity into a source of empowerment. Instead of crumbling under pressure, you stand firm, absorbing the blows and channeling that energy into growth. It's almost as if every attack fuels a part of you that wasn't there before, forging a resilience that becomes part of your identity. As you continue to rise, your enemies begin to realize that they've made a grave mistake in underestimating you. The harder they push, the more they reveal their own weaknesses. They can't fathom how someone they deemed vulnerable is now thriving in the face of adversity. Their attempts to break you only serve to solidify your strength and determination. You become a force they cannot control, a living testament to the idea that struggle can be transformative. Over time, this dynamic shifts. What once felt like a threat becomes a catalyst for your growth. You evolve into someone who not only survives but thrives under pressure. Your journey becomes a powerful narrative of resilience, showcasing that attacks and challenges are not obstacles but stepping stones. In this way, your enemies inadvertently create the very person they fear most, an unbreakable spirit that continues to rise no matter how hard they try to push you down. And that is a realization that in the end, they simply cannot handle. Number 12, your energy cannot be touched, only feared. Your energy cannot be touched, it can only be feared. Enemies are driven by jealousy and insecurity, which lead them to plot, scheme, and gossip about you. Deep down, they know they can never reach your level, and that realization gnaws at them. Their attempts to undermine you stem from their recognition that you operate on a frequency they can't comprehend. When they see you thriving, it triggers a mix of envy and frustration, prompting them to try and drag you down to their level. But what they fail to understand is that every time they reach for you, they only fuel your ascension. Each negative comment, every sly whisper, and all their scheming only serve to empower you further. Rather than allowing their attacks to weigh you down, you use them as motivation to rise higher. They don't realize that their attempts to belittle you only strengthen your resolve and reinforce your belief in yourself. It's as if they're pushing against an immovable force. The more they struggle, the more you rise. Your energy becomes a beacon of light that illuminates your path, while they remain stuck in the shadows of their own making. What's truly remarkable is that they can't touch what was never meant for them to hold. Your energy is uniquely yours, cultivated through your experiences, beliefs, and aspirations. It's a product of your journey, and no amount of gossip or manipulation can take that away from you. You are not defined by their opinions. Instead, you define yourself through your actions and your unwavering spirit. As you continue to ascend, you become a living testament to the idea that energy cannot be diminished by external forces. Instead, it only grows stronger. Your enemies may try to create chaos, but in the end, they only amplify your power. And as they watch you soar, their fear and frustration grow, leaving them to grapple with the uncomfortable truth that they will never be able to reach the heights you have attained. Your energy remains untouchable, and that, above all, terrifies them. In a world where enemies thrive on manipulation and control, you stand as a testament to the power of resilience and authenticity. Each attack aimed at you serves not to weaken you, but to fortify your spirit, propelling you higher than ever before. You've learned that true strength lies not in confrontation, but in the unwavering confidence that emanates from living your truth. Your energy is a force that cannot be diminished, only feared, as those who wish to bring you down grapple with their own insecurities in the face of your unbreakable spirit. As you move forward, remember that your journey is unique, and your power is yours alone. Embrace the paradox of being a chosen one, where adversity fuels your growth and every attempt to undermine you only sharpens your edge. You are a mirror reflecting the truths others refuse to acknowledge, and that reflection is what makes you unstoppable. The chains that once bound you have fallen away, leaving you free to soar into your highest potential. So, as you continue on this path, let every challenge be a stepping stone, every doubter a catalyst for your rise. Embrace your role as an unyielding force in a world that often seeks to stifle brilliance. You are destined for greatness, not because you seek it, but because you embody it. Trust in your journey and know that with each step you take, you are not only silencing your enemies, you are unleashing a power that resonates far beyond their understanding. Continue to rise, for the world needs your light, and your ascension is just the beginning. If you found value in this exploration of your untouchable power and the journey of being a chosen one, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. By hitting that button, you're not just gaining access to transformative insights, you're joining a community committed to empowerment and resilience. Together we'll dive into strategies that help you rise higher and shine brighter. Your support is crucial in creating a space where we can all thrive. So subscribe now and let's embark on this extraordinary journey together, because the best is yet to come.